Our mission for this deep dive is pretty serious. We're synthesizing a strategic risk report that outlines a real nightmare scenario for a U.S.-Iran conflict. We're going to get into how two, frankly, shocking factors converge. Leadership psychology and an existential technological vulnerability.
And this report, it puts its conclusion right there for you at the start. It argues the path to a nuclear conflict isn't driven by some rational strategy.
Yeah, okay.
It's driven by an almost compulsive psychological response, and that leads directly to a guaranteed, mutually assured collapse.
Collapse, not destruction.
A collapse. And that's because of a fatal, completely unaddressed vulnerability right here in the U.S. homeland.
All right, let's unpack that. I mean, what's the consistent trigger? What starts this domino effect across all the scenarios?
It all hinges on a conventional military failure. Think round one strikes that just don't work, but the real catalyst, the thing that changes everything.
What's that?
It's the televised historic humiliation from the sinking of a major U.S. asset, specifically an aircraft carrier, something like the USS Gerald R. Ford.
And this is where it gets really interesting, because why does that military defeat lead directly to a nuclear decision? It feels like a huge leap.
Well, the report frames it as creating an absolute and intolerable narcissistic injury for the command structure. It's a deep personal failure, not just a strategic one.
So it's not about doctrine at that point, it's about ego.
Exactly. It creates the conditions for what they call a final compulsive act. The driver is this overwhelming need to restore dominance above all. And this is all reinforced by hawkish advisors who are there to rationalize using, ultimate force.
So if the U.S. decision is purely compulsive, driven by humiliation, how is Iran planning for that? What's their asymmetric checkmate here?
Iran's whole strategy is built to exploit U.S. homeland vulnerabilities. I mean, we know they're ranked the world's 5th strongest offensive cyber power, but the biggest threat the report identifies is a nuclear high-altitude EMP, a Shea EMP strike.
And the delivery methods are designed to be, what, untraceable?
Correct. It could be ship-launched Scud missiles, detonated way up in the atmosphere, so high there's no traceable debris. Or it could be their alleged super EMT satellites like NOR-2 and 2R-3.
Help me understand the mechanism here, because it's a dual-wave attack, right?
Right. It's a 1-2 punch designed for total systemic failure. First, you get the E1 wave. This is a fast pulse, travels at light speed.
And it does what?
It instantly fries all solid-state electronics, every computer, every microchip, every phone on the continent, and surge protectors are totally useless against it.
It's instant paralysis.
Instant. But then, just seconds later, the E3 wave hits. This is a slow pulse, and it's designed to destroy the really big stuff.
The power grid.
The core of it, those custom-built extra high-voltage transformers, the things that transmit 90% of the nation's electricity.
You could just, get new ones?
They take 1.5 to 4 years to manufacture and install, so you're looking at a guaranteed multi-year nationwide blackout.
Which is where that horrifying number comes from. Up to 90% mortality within a year, projected by the Congressional EMP Commission.
Yes, because the collapse is total. Water, sanitation, food, fuel distribution, it all stops. And crucially, that first E1 wave also disables the cooling systems at our nuclear power plants.
Oh, wow.
Which means you get widespread radiological meltdowns within hours, on top of everything else.
So connecting all the dots here, Iran's EMP capability basically puts the U.S. in a checkmate scenario.
It does. That compulsive act of nuclear escalation, the one driven by a need to restore dominance, it immediately becomes an act of guaranteed national self-destruction, mutually assured collapse.
And the technology to mitigate this, to harden the grid, it exists. It's not some sci-fi fantasy. The reports say it's actually not that expensive, relatively speaking.
Correct. This is a failure of political resolve, not a technical impossibility.
So that really raises a critical question for you to think about. Given the catastrophic, almost unimaginable human cost of inaction, why has prioritizing offensive power projection so consistently outweighed defending the homeland against a known, fixable existential threat? That's a pattern worth mulling over.